5 fish that lower blood sugar, but most people ignore. You gave up the sweet tea. You count your portions. You walk every morning, rain or shine. And when they said fish was healthier than red meat, you listened. You made the switch, but your blood sugar, still climbing. You're doing everything right, and it's not working. That's not just frustrating, it's exhausting. You're not sneaking desserts. You're not overeating. So what's going wrong? Here's what most people, even some doctors, never mention. Not all fish are friendly to blood sugar. In fact, some of the most common fish we trust may quietly raise inflammation, slow insulin response, and make things worse. If you haven't seen our previous video on fish that could actually harm diabetics, I highly recommend watching that next. You might be surprised which ones made the list. I'll link it at the end of this video, but today, let's focus on the good news. And the fish that actually help stabilize your blood sugar? Most people never even think to eat them. Today, I'll show you 5 underrated fish that support blood sugar control naturally, plus how to eat them the right way to avoid common mistakes. Because this isn't about giving up more. It's about finally knowing what actually works and taking back control. Subscribe if you're ready to stop guessing. And let's get started. Number 1, mackerel, the omega-3 powerhouse. Let me take you back to James. 63, retired and doing everything by the book. He'd switched to fish, took daily walks, even started tracking his blood sugar. But every time he checked his glucose levels after meals, they were still higher than expected. And he couldn't figure out why. That is, until his dietitian asked one simple question. What kind of fish are you eating? Turns out, James was eating canned tuna and white fish, but completely ignoring one of the most powerful blood sugar stabilizers in the sea. Mackerel. Now I know, it's not the flashiest fish, but mackerel is packed with omega-3s, even more than salmon in some cases. And here's why that matters. When inflammation builds up in your body, your cells become less responsive to insulin. That means more sugar stays in your blood, and your numbers climb. But omega-3s, they help calm that inflammation, improving insulin sensitivity so your body can actually use the sugar instead of storing it. If you've ever felt frustrated, like you're doing everything right and still not seeing results, hit that like button. You're not alone. And this might be the piece you've been missing. But there's a catch. Most people who try mackerel make one simple mistake. They buy the kind that's swimming in salt, oil, or heavy sauces. That totally cancels out the benefits, and in some cases makes things worse for your blood pressure. What you want instead is fresh or water-packed mackerel, grilled or lightly baked. Pair it with non-starchy veggies like broccoli, roasted cauliflower, or leafy greens for a meal that actually works with your body, not against it. And if that tip helped you, go ahead and subscribe, because we're just getting started. And the next ones on this list might surprise you even more. Because while mackerel is powerful, there's another fish coming up that not only helps regulate blood sugar, but also boosts your vitamin D levels naturally. And most people never even think to eat it. Don't miss this. Keep watching with me. Number 2. Herring, the forgotten superfish. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you heard someone say, you should eat more herring? Exactly. Herring is one of the most overlooked superfoods for people with diabetes, and yet it quietly holds 2 of the most powerful tools your body needs. DHA and EPA, the most active forms of omega-3s. But here's the real kicker, the part most people miss. Herring is also one of the best natural sources of vitamin D. And that matters, because over 60% of people with type 2 diabetes are deficient in vitamin D, and they often don't even know it. So what does that mean for you? Vitamin D doesn't just support bones. It plays a critical role in how your body secretes and uses insulin. Low vitamin D has been linked to insulin resistance, higher blood sugar, and even poor energy, especially in people over 50. In other words, getting enough vitamin D could help your body do what it's supposed to do naturally, without more pills, more stress, or more guesswork. If that surprises you, and you think someone else you care about might be missing this too, tap share. You could be the reason they catch it early. Now, a quick heads up. A lot of people try herring for the first time by buying it pickled. And yes, it's flavorful, but also loaded with sodium, which can raise blood pressure and trigger inflammation. Not what we want. A better option? Go for grilled, smoked, or lightly baked herring. Add some lemon, fresh herbs, even toss it into a Mediterranean salad. It's simple, it's satisfying, and more importantly, it works with your blood sugar, not against it. And here's something else. Most people pass on herring because it sounds old-fashioned. But remember this, sometimes the things that feel outdated are exactly what your body still needs. If you're finding this helpful, hit subscribe so YouTube knows to show you more of the content that helps you stay ahead. And don't go anywhere, because next up is a fish that's affordable, protein-rich, and found in nearly every grocery store. But most people cook it in a way that makes blood sugar worse. You need to know what to avoid and how to get it right. Stay with me. Number 3, tilapia, the surprising staple. Let's be honest, tilapia doesn't exactly scream superfood, does it? It's not exotic, it's not expensive. In fact, it's probably one of the most common fish sitting in your freezer right now. But don't let that fool you, because when it comes to blood sugar-friendly foods, tilapia is one of the most underrated staples you can have on your plate. Here's why. Tilapia is lean, high in protein, contains 0 carbs, and it's incredibly easy to prepare. That means it won't spike your blood sugar, and it helps slow the release of glucose when eaten with other foods. But the real secret lies deeper. Tilapia is rich in selenium, a trace mineral that many people don't get enough of, and yet it plays a major role in blood sugar regulation. It also contains vitamin E and C, which help reduce oxidative stress, a hidden trigger of insulin resistance and long-term damage in people with type 2 diabetes. So if you've been overlooking tilapia because it seems too basic, think again. Sometimes the quietest foods do the most behind the scenes. If that gives you a new appreciation for this everyday fish, go ahead and like this video, because we're shining a light on what actually works. But there's one important thing to watch out for. Not all tilapia is created equal. Some farmed tilapia, especially from poorly regulated sources, may contain unhealthy fats, the kind that increase inflammation, not reduce it. Whenever possible, choose responsibly sourced or wild-caught tilapia. And how you cook it matters just as much. Grill it, bake it, or steam it. Skip the deep fryer. It cancels out everything we just talked about. And by the way, tilapia pairs beautifully with steamed veggies, roasted root vegetables, or even a warm quinoa bowl. It's not fancy, but it's clean, safe, and surprisingly powerful. If this helped you see tilapia in a whole new light, make sure to subscribe, because the next fish on this list is even smaller. But it packs a punch you won't believe, especially when it comes to calcium, vitamin D, and heart protection. Keep watching. This next one could be a game changer. Number 4, sardines, small but mighty. You might walk past them in the grocery store without a second glance. A small tin, a strong smell, maybe something your grandparents used to eat. But don't let their size or their reputation fool you. Sardines are one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. In fact, ounce for ounce, sardines give you more calcium than a glass of milk, with none of the sugar. And that matters, because as blood sugar rises, bones weaken, and your risk for fractures goes up. And for people over 50 living with diabetes, they check every single box. Let's break it down. These tiny fish are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids that help reduce inflammation and improve insulin sensitivity, just like mackerel and herring. But they go even further. Sardines are also rich in calcium and vitamin D, 2 nutrients most diabetics are dangerously low in, especially as we age. Calcium helps support strong bones, which become more vulnerable when blood sugar runs high. Vitamin D? It's essential for insulin function and long-term metabolic health. So not only are you helping your blood sugar, you're also protecting your bones, brain, and heart, all in one humble little fish. If that surprised you, hit like, not for me, but so YouTube shows this to someone else who might need this info too. But as always, there's a catch. Many people try sardines once and they hate them. Why? Because they buy the wrong kind. Sardines packed in heavy oil, tomato sauce, or sugary marinades can load your meal with extra sodium or hidden sugars, exactly what we're trying to avoid. The solution is simple. Look for sardines packed in water or olive oil. Try them with a little mustard, lemon, or fresh herbs. Add them to a Mediterranean salad or layer them on whole grain toast. And here's the thing. You don't need to eat sardines daily to get the benefit. Even just once or twice a week can make a difference for your blood sugar and your long-term health. If you know someone who's always tired, sore, or struggling with balance and they're diabetic, consider sharing this. This tiny fish might help protect more than just their numbers. And next, we're wrapping this up with a fish that's loved for its convenience. But too many people are eating it the wrong way and missing out on everything it could do for them. Stick with me. If you've ever eaten tuna, you need to hear this. Number 5, tuna. Great when done right. You've probably got a can of it in your pantry right now. And if you're anything like most people managing diabetes, you've been told tuna is a smart, low-carb protein. And in many ways, it is. Tuna is lean, convenient, and rich in complete protein, which helps slow down the absorption of glucose after a meal. That means fewer spikes, more stability, and longer-lasting energy. Plus, it's naturally low in carbs, making it a go-to choice for many people with type 2 diabetes. But here's the thing. Not all tuna is created equal, and depending on how you're eating it, it could be doing more harm than good. Tuna packed in oil can add unnecessary saturated fats, and that classic tuna salad loaded with mayonnaise, it might taste good, but it's often packed with hidden sugars and trans fats that quietly sabotage your insulin response. If you've ever made tuna salad thinking it was a healthy choice, no shame. We've all been there. Hit like if you're realizing how small changes can make a big difference. So, what's the better option? Choose water-packed tuna and upgrade your mix-ins. Try adding avocado or cottage cheese for creaminess, plus an extra boost of protein and healthy fats that help keep blood sugar steady. You'll be surprised how satisfying and stable this version feels. You can also toss tuna into a salad, wrap it in lettuce leaves, or pair it with fiber-rich grains like quinoa or lentils for a complete blood sugar-friendly meal. If this shifted how you think about your go-to meals, go ahead and subscribe because this channel is all about making real, doable changes that actually help. Now that you know which fish can help lower your blood sugar, there's still one crucial piece missing: what you eat with them. Because even the healthiest protein can backfire if your sides quietly spike your sugar. In the next video, I'll show you 7 vegetables that actually help stabilize blood sugar, especially after meals. Some you've probably seen before, but one might completely change the way you build your plate. Don't miss it. Blood sugar control isn't just about what you eat, but how you combine it.